air condition. 6 cities, 5%.
A lot of the prizes that we won were for the innovation. Now, at this stage, we are also concerned about the impact that we are having on the lives of people. And so the kind of partnerships and the kind of recognition that we are getting is different. And we are happy that that has been the case. The project is growing beyond simply the innovation and the technology. It's becoming more of a grassroots and a broad-based effort involving multiple stakeholders across the country and across the region, with all of them focused and concentrated on ensuring that the ordinary citizen and the ordinary consumers get the best from the medicines that they buy.
The impact of fake medicines is pretty obvious because it's fake. They do not get cured. So what happens is that they continue to be sick, and those who suffer most from that and even die as a result are the children. You know, they continue to be sick and they just die.
When your product is popular, it's only when it's popular and has got a price and the demand is high, then they try to come in, cash on the popularity of the product, sell it at half price, which contains nothing, and then they make their money. It's a crime.
Yeah, even if you go into the pharmacy, there's absolutely no way you can be sure, because we've seen fake malaria medicines in some of the pharmacies.
Wherever medicine is supplied, pharmacies, druggists, chemical shops, clinics, hospitals, everywhere. Everywhere, because when it comes in, the moment it gets out of the port and goes into the system, it gets to everywhere, including homes.
The risk is higher in places where the supply chain is weakest, and these places tend to be in the poor areas and in the rural areas. All of these are essentially parts of the informal wholesale supply system for medicines in Accra. And this is believed to be one of the entry points for fake medicines. I've always been in activism. I started as a student activist, and over time I moved into other areas of activism, particularly migrants' rights activism in Europe. I relocated to Ghana and moved into policy activism, trying to get change in the way that institutions carry out their duties in this country. I realized that the change that we were looking for wasn't coming as rapidly as we wanted, so we wanted to do something ourselves.
For me, it's extremely exciting. I mean, what it does is it allows us to affect so many people's lives. And something like this really touches people who otherwise have no means of knowing whether they bought something that is good or bad for them.
Consumers and other stakeholders like medical practitioners and other health professionals can trust the medicines that they use. Because if that does not happen, then you're going to see a crisis of confidence in the public health system. And that is, of course, the biggest threat that we face now as a project. And of course, that is the biggest threat that faces the objective that we have.
So that when the consumer buys the medicine, they can scratch off the label and then reveal the number or the code, send it in an SMS, and then get a response back in a few seconds that they bought the right medicine.
Easy as that?
Easy as that. Straightforward and free of charge. The pharmaceutical industry, we get a little margin from what they pay to access the system.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a humanitarian program, but it's a self-sustainable humanitarian program.
Yeah, okay, come across. I'm happy because I'm getting the original products. And as I send the code, they give me the expiry dates. So I'm happy.
Well, we are proud of this project simply because of the number of stakeholders who ordinarily shouldn't be in the same room that we have managed to bring into the same room. The telecom industry, the pharmaceutical industry, government agencies, various NGOs and the rest of it. And think of also the global Fortune 500 companies like Hewlett-Packard, who have all now joined on board. This is a massive undertaking to address one of the most intractable, the most complex problems facing healthcare in the developing world. And the fact that we are at the forefront of it gives us a lot of excitement and gives us a lot of motivation to go forward.